Hello everyone, and this is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling on February 27th, 2015. And, this week was built up around the whole Bobby Lashley and MVP match for the World Heavyweight title. And they continued that build throughout the entire night, mixing in many different people. Obviously, Kurt Angle, Gunner, the rest of the BDC, Austin Aries in there for a little bit as well. You had promos with everybody kind of working in with that, and there was a decent build-up going into the match itself. I liked the promo at the beginning with Kurt Angle and Bobby Lashley about Kurt basically saying he's returning the favor and not going to help out Lashley in this particular match. They also threw Eric, obviously still continuing to throw Eric Young in there, and I'll get back to the whole rest of the match at the end of the review here. So let's go ahead and just go about what else they were working with. Obviously, you also had you had the bit with. Wow, I am losing my train of thought right now. Oh yeah, you had the Tara Terrell promo, which honestly, she's not very good at cutting a promo. And anyway, you could definitely tell the difference between the promo cutting between her and Gail Kim. It just did not come off that well. I mean, I get the story premise of how they're trying to build Tara Terrell. She's kind of like, they're trying to build her as a fighting champion and everything in that sense. Kind of like how they built Gail Kim for a long time. So I get that sense, and of course you can tell that they're going for not a Gail, but a Kong and Tara Terrell match here very soon. If not having all three of them in there, because the week before they inserted Gail Kim into the mix, and I did like Gail's portion of the promo as well, trying to warn her about Kong and everything like that. It came off pretty decently in that case. You also had Robbie E. and Angelina Love going up against Brooke Tessmacher and Chris Melendez. I get the aspect of having Brooke up against the bromance and Angelina Love here, but I don't get why they're having Chris Melendez in this case. I guess they're just trying to find some random person to work along with Brooke in this case. But the match itself, I haven't really cared about the storyline from the get-go, so the match itself was kind of okay. All these people are pretty decent workers inside the ring, and they work with what they had in this case. It wasn't overly bad, but it wasn't overly good either in this and there. So, I mean, obviously they're probably going to continue this. I'm not going to really care. I probably personally won't care too much about it. Hopefully we'll get some good matches out of it. Tonight's match was kind of okay. The biggest problem I had was how the announcers were messing up the rules of the match, saying that, versus the mixed tag and the intergender matches. They called it an intergender match, which means the men and the women can work together, but they were saying, oh, the men and the women can't work together. So that was a little bit of a mess up on that part. You had, of course, they also continued on with Rockstar Spud and Mr. Anderson going up against Tyrus and EC3. Again, like I said last week, you're just waiting for them to announce the hair versus hair match between the two of them, between Spud and EC3, because they continue to go off the whole shaving aspect in every single sense of the word. You even had the backstage promo after the match where it looked like EC3 was going to get to Rockstar Spud, but he gets stopped by Mr. Anderson, and they actually get a little bit of EC3's hair instead. So like I said, you're just waiting for the hair versus hair match to be announced, and hopefully that's what they'll be doing here in the very near future. So again, we'll see where they go. We'll see where they go with that, and how much longer they will play that out before they actually have that kind of match. And that does pretty much bring me to what I feel the main event, pretty much the main event of the night. You did have another couple of promos backstage, like I said before, with Austin Aries, and then before the main event, you had Aries versus Samoa Joe. I liked where they did what they did with that. They kind of they inserted a little bit of a story in there, of course, about Austin Aries maybe cashing in his briefcase tonight for the World Heavyweight title, and then Joe basically, Joe and the BDC basically thwarting that by, even though Joe losing the match, they take out Austin Aries in the end. So it was a nice little story tidbit that they went in there, and of course eliminating, finding a way to eliminate Austin Aries throughout the for the rest of the night. And now this does bring me to the main event, which, again, in all honesty, you had they had a little problem with continuity here. They had a backstage promo with Eric Young and MVP. And MVP during that backstage promo is like, "Oh, are you going to help me out for this match?" And basically, kind of throwing it out there, throwing it back out there that it was Lashely that actually put him in the hospital, so he should help him out tonight. So Eric Young agrees, and then MVP announces that it's a no disqualification match. Yet during the entire match itself, the referee is constantly distracted, and they even eject low key. So they have this being a no disqualification match. Why are they ejecting people? Why is the referee having to constantly be distracted from interference if there's no disqualifications? I did not see why they needed to go with that portion of the continuity of the match, of having the constant ref distractions so the BDC can interfere and everything like that. And of course, even the ejection of low key in the match made no sense. I mean, the overall spots in the match and everything came off really well. I liked Eric Young's timing of coming out there to try to interfere in the match, and of course the return, them bringing Bobby Roode back out there to stop that interjection was a very good one as well. Of course, tons of interference in this match. You had the BDC in there. You had Eric Young run in there. You had Bobby Roode come in there to stop Eric Young. And then you had Gunner come out there and take care of Samoa Joe. And just a lot of interference and a lot of ref bumping in this one. Honestly, this main event, like I said, spot-wise was pretty good. But in the terms of an actual match quality, this was probably one of their weakest world title matches that they've put together in recent memory. And it is quite unfortunate because both MVP and Bobby Lashley are very good workers. You wish they would have gone with maybe a little less interference and maybe a little bit more of just a match. But then again, they kind of write themselves in the corner with having MVP out there in the terms of having the BDC around them at all times. So they do kind of write themselves into a corner that forces the interference to happen, but you wish in some cases that they would actually not use that for the matches and just let the matches be themselves and try to tell the story that way. I mean, the story that they told with this one wasn't horrible. I'm just saying this was probably one of their weaker world title matches that they've done in the terms of story build. Well, actually, story build itself was actually good. I mean, in the terms of the story of the actual match that happened, was probably one of the weaker ones that I've seen in recent memory. Not overly horrible, but definitely a lot weaker than their more recent ones. So overall, I felt this week's Impact, last week's Impact I felt was a downgrade over what they had been doing in recent memory. This one was a little bit of an upgrade. They had some continuity issues in there with some of the matches and everything, but overall it was a little bit more enjoyable this week than it was last week. And yeah, that's my review this week for TNA Impact Wrestling, and I thank you guys for watching.